Hi, everybody. Thank you all so much for coming and writing with us tonight. I have a super special guest with me tonight. You all probably know Sarah Sutton. Sarah, do you want to introduce yourself to everybody who doesn't
Sure.
already know you? Because I'm sure most people already do.
Sure. Hi, everybody. I'm Sarah Sutton. I am a young adult romance author. I've written 6 books, and I'm here on AuthorTube, author Sarah Sutton, and I'm over on Instagram at Sarah May Sutton. And yeah, we're
And TikTok.
release the cover of my next book next week. So
That's so exciting. I loved your title reveal scavenger hunt. That was so much fun. Like clicking through all the everybody's different accounts, and like I had a piece of paper and I was writing everything down. It was so creative.
thank you.
Yeah,
Uh,
no, Sarah has a new book coming out soon, right? It's in August?
mm-hmm.
Yes,
August.
so that's very, very exciting. And all of you already know who I am. If you are, I mean, probably. My name is Claire Fraze. I'm also a young adult author. I write young adult thrillers and kind of supernatural thrillers and mysteries. And yeah, we're going to do some writing sprints tonight. I am going to be working on the third book in my young adult supernatural thriller series. I just started drafting a couple of weeks ago, and I'm still very much in the first draft phase. So I'm very excited about it, but it's very messy. So it's the fun part of the process where everything is very messy, and it's okay for everything to be really messy, and everything is super creative. And I love the first draft stage just because you can dump all of your random ideas on the page, and there's no pressure or stress
Mm-hmm.
related to it. So, yeah, Sarah, what are you going to be working on?
I have client work tonight, but I think I have enough time to work on a little bit of my book 2 in my new series. So this one I had actually started over, like somebody actually made me this shirt and sent it, and it says I'm starting my draft for the 75th time because I said it in a vlog. But I've started this book over so many times, but we're finally getting close to the finish. So I think I'm gonna work on that.
That's very exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and that's so cute. Yeah, I love your shirt. That's so cute that somebody made it for you.
I know. I'm like, no way.
Hello to everybody who is here to hang out and write with us. Hi, Cool Gamer. Thanks so much for coming and for doing some sprints. And hi, Haley. Also, thank you so much for coming. It's so good to see you in the comments. Let us know what you're going to be working on in the chat. And Sarah, are you ready to do our first sprint?
I'm ready. I'm ready.
Awesome. So how do you feel about maybe 15 minutes as a warm up? I usually don't write in the evenings. Like I'm usually a morning writer. So like I'm a little bit foggy and I think I need a warm up before jumping
Yeah.
in.
Yeah, that works for me.
Okay, perfect. Awesome. So I will share my screen. Um, please hold. All right. And then, oh, this is like, I think this is still preset to my last sprint. Okay, cool. So 15 minutes, first sprint. Good luck, everybody. Happy writing, happy productivity if you aren't going to be writing, and we will see you after the sprint.
That was so
All
cute.
right. I know that's my favorite timer sound. It brings me so much joy. Oh man, that sprint was it's so weird to me writing at night. Like I don't know, usually I don't have the energy to do it, but now because we're doing sprints, like I'm all energized and excited. So I feel like my brain is like more open or creative or something like right now. Maybe it's just because I'm a little tired, but I've read that before that like apparently it's you have a sharper analytical mind in the morning and like a more creative looser brain in the evening. So maybe I'm just like projecting onto myself because I read that article, but I'm really excited about these sprints.
I love it. I love it.
How was that for you?
It was good. I finished a chapter. I have been torn with like what chapter to do next, but I think I finally figured it out. Like it's been taking me days to figure out where to go from here, but I think I finally got it. So our next sprint, I'll be able to dive straight in.
Oh,
Fingers
good.
crossed.
Do you outline your books? Like, are you an outliner or do you pants them?
I didn't used to outline, but I feel like with this one, I really do have to outline at least a little bit since they are so interconnected, like with the same events happening in different books.
Mhm.
So this time I am outlining more than usual.
Do you outline really closely or just the big kind of huge plot moments that you work toward?
It's mostly just the big stuff, I think. Yeah. I,
Yeah.
I probably should learn how to plot like character development a little bit better, but it's more so just me plotting out like the plot points rather than the character development points. So
Yeah, no, I've just been thinking a lot about outlining recently. So that's just why I asked, because I've been thinking about like I am such a detailed outliner, but now like I wrote my most detailed outline ever for this third book in the series. And now that I'm actually drafting it, like a lot of the I don't know, like I already know everything that's going to happen. So I haven't been discovering as much as I usually do when I'm drafting. So like
yeah.
I'm still really jazzed about it because I think it's like it's strong and all the story pieces are there, but just like the actual act of writing doesn't feel like as exciting to me because I already know everything that's going to happen. Like I was all jazzed when I was writing my outline. So I'm trying
Yeah.
to like think of a way to balance those two things and like know what's going to happen without knowing everything that's going to happen. And I was just talking to a member of my critique group about this last night, and they were saying that like even though they also outline in a lot of detail, they always approach writing scenes by like seeing how they can challenge their outline, or if there's like an opportunity for something that their past self hadn't seen before that would be more interesting. And like I don't know, I've just been like thinking a lot about it, so I just wanted to ask you because I'm wondering.
Yeah, outlining's so tricky for me because I used to hate it for that reason. Like I hated the fact that I wasn't like I knew it was gonna happen,
Mhm.
so it just didn't feel as exciting. But yeah,
Yeah, it's tough. But it also it makes the writing process a lot faster
it
because
does. And that's mainly why I switched to it too. But yeah.
yeah. No, I like it makes it faster, but also I think like first drafts, no matter how much you outline, are just going to be messy, which is what I'm learning. I don't think that there's any way to like bypass that messiness and get a perfect first draft as much as every
Unfortunately.
writer probably wishes that they have one.
Yeah.
We had some people join us during that sprint, which was really exciting. Hi, Jasmine. Thanks so much for stopping by and doing sprints with us. Um, Hi, Yaza. Also, thank you so much for stopping by. Hi, Just Eva. Always, I'm glad that we have a good group here tonight. What are you all working on? Let us know in the comments. We Haley said, I'm picking up my romance story again. I haven't worked on it for about 3 months now because of school and work, but I'm finally trying to get back into writing again. That's so exciting.
Nice.
Yeah, it's always so exciting when you like I feel like when you step away from a project, when you come back to it, you can always like you can see it through fresh eyes and you have a new perspective on it, and sometimes it really helps put what you want the story to be into perspective for you. So, I hope that you're enjoying diving back in. Sugar Spring said, I don't know how to start out. Everything I come up with sounds wonky. Well, I mean, this is what we were just talking about too. It's like all first drafts are super messy. Everything's going to sound wonky. It sounds wonky to me too, now that I'm writing my first draft. After like just working on the final draft of the last book, like it's not as good as the final draft of the last book, but everything has to be wonky before it can be fixed. So
Exactly.
it's like all about learning how to relish in the chaos.
Yeah. That's why I had to start my story over 70,000 times because it just
The
wasn't how.
75th time, or is it 75 times?
But you have to have that stuff in order to make it better. You can't edit a blank page.
Exactly. It's just hard. It's like
It's
it's easy to say, and then it's so hard.
it's so hard.
Jasmine said, "I'll be working on my dystopian space story this sprint." Ooh, that sounds pretty
Ooh.
cool. I love dystopian. I really am very strongly hoping that dystopian young adult books make a comeback
Mm,
sometime soon. Like I'm so sad that those kind of fizzled out. Like I understand why, but like I think it's time for them to make a comeback, and I think that they can make a really strong comeback. I think like the nostalgia element of old teen dystopia can like fuel this new wave of
mm.
teen dystopian. Yeah.
Yes.
All right. How are we feeling about maybe doing another sprint?
Feels good to me.
All right, cool. How long do you want to go for?
Um, wanna do 25?
Yeah, sounds good. All right. And if any of you who are joining us have any recommendations for sprint lengths or any, times that you really like, let us know and throw them out in the comments and we can absolutely do those. All right. So 25 minutes. Good luck, everybody. Happy writing, happy productivity. And Sarah and I will see you after the sprint. All right. So second sprint is over. Sarah, how did that go for you?
Um, Not as great as I was hoping. I got distracted talking with my mom, so that didn't help. And then I also had to answer emails, so that didn't help. But I got a little bit into the next chapter. Some of it was copy and pasted from a previous draft, so that was helpful. But we still have more to go. But I guess a good start into the chapter, so I can't be too mad.
It's always so hard to like get into the mindset when you have all these other things pulling at your attention. I
Yeah.
always, yeah, it's hard.
Yeah, that's why I usually write best after everybody's like asleep, gone to work.
I know that's why like mornings are pretty quiet for me for, like for that reason. Like it far less distracting and I can get so much more done.
Yeah. How'd you
Um,
do?
yeah, good. I'm enjoying the scene. I didn't like, not like a crazy high word count or anything. But I'm trying to go through the scene slowly because this is kind of like I don't want to really talk about like spoilers or anything, but it's the last scene that my main character kind of has with her younger sibling before kind of going off into this whole big crazy adventure in book three.
Ooh.
And the whole like premise of the series is built around like book one was all about like how, certain things happen with her younger sibling and like it's all about her connection with her younger brother. So I'm trying to figure out a way to approach this conversation in a way that like sets her up for her character arc over the course of the book. So it's like a very emotional scene for her and I'm just trying to figure out the best way to travel through it. So I'm going slow because I want to make sure that it's realistic and everything. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm enjoying it though. It's like kind of a heavy, sad, like more of like a character sad scene instead of like a oh someone's dead scene.
Oh yeah. Yeah. That's so
So
cool though.
yeah, I'm enjoying it. I love writing the character stuff. I'm having a feeling that I am going to have to cut some character stuff out of this book because my outline is super character heavy because I get carried away with all of the character arc outlines and I
Mhm.
just want to spend time like I'm like this character is going to start out doing this and then she's going to end up here and she needs to do all of these different things to showcase all these different parts of, her growth and journey and everything and then eventually she'll end up here but because it's a thriller and it has to be fast paced I have to like cut down a lot of the character scenes that are just character and find a way to like take those character moments and put them into action so that it keeps the plot moving because right now like this outline is really long and I have all the stuff I want in there but I need to find a way to condense it I think but also like I have gotten feedback on the books that people want more character
Mm.
stuff so like it's hard to balance the thrills with all of the character growth moments. So I'm still trying to figure out the right balance there.
Yeah. I feel like I struggle so much when it comes to plotting out character arcs. So I love that you have a good like understanding of it.
Yeah, well, I just like I don't know. I think I always figure out when I'm outlining because I'm also a very detailed outliner, like
Yeah.
where the characters are going to be at the beginning and where the characters are going to be at the end and what needs to happen in order to get them like through that transformation. And
Mm.
then that kind of helps guide me through the outline of the book. But also like it's hard when you're writing a series sometimes, like when you're in book two and you know where you want them to be in like book five, but you don't know exactly where you want them to be at the end of book two in order to be at the ultimate place in book five. Because it's like you have to
Oh.
have all these. I mean, it's the same with all books. Like you have to have a complete miniature character arc that ties into the giant series arc or plot arc. I don't know. It's like I always think of it as like one giant circle that is like kind of just a bunch of little loop-de-loops going around in the
I love
circle
that.
like a little kind of mini arc that moves into another mini arc and all of them eventually go and meet as this one giant circle so like you have individual arcs but all of them eventually together form their own giant arc.
I love that so much.
So all exciting stuff. I'm excited about it. um we had some people join us during that sprint. Hi, Heather. Heather said, joined a bit late in that sprint, but I got 236 words written for my second draft. Awesome. That's really awesome. Congratulations. Um, Let us know what you're writing. What is your book about? I love hearing about all of your writing projects.
Yeah, all the genres.
Yeah, exactly. It's like we have such a cool mix of genres. Like I love doing this for because like I'm always thinking about, like thrillers and like my genre of story that sometimes I forget that all of these other different types of stories exist. And like because I read thrillers and like I write thrillers and I'm just like in that space all the time. So
Mm.
it's just really fun to hear about people talking about their stories.
Yeah.
Um, Haley said, I was writing, but now I'm just working to reread what I already wrote since I don't remember the details all that well. Yeah, this always happens to me when I step away from drafts and have to come back. It's a
Yeah.
really effective way to get yourself into the headspace for writing, though. Like, I have to finish listening to the audiobook for the book that I just published. I think in just a couple of days. So I've been starting all of my writing sessions with like listening to pieces of the audiobook to just like get me into that headspace really quickly to be able to start writing. But yeah, it's definitely helpful to go back and read.
That's so smart to listen to the audiobook.
I love the listening to the audiobook. Like I for the first book that I did an audiobook with, it was really tedious because I just recently like been reading it. Like I don't know, I got really tired by the end of it. Like even though I loved listening to the way that my audiobook narrator brought the story to life, I was just so sick of hearing myself like write or like hearing the words that I had written read back to me.
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah, because I was just like, I was starting to cringe at my own words. And I was just like, I've read these so many times, I almost have them memorized. And like, it's really, really amazing to hear because like my audiobook narrator is just so brilliant. Like, I absolutely love working with her. And she just breathes life into the story in a way that like I couldn't even imagine before listening because I wasn't really an audiobook listener before
Mhm.
working with her. But yeah, I'm just loving listening to this audiobook now too. So yeah, audiobooks are great. It's fun when you listen to them when you have a little bit of distance between yourself and the book. I think like after a
Mhm.
little bit of time has gone by and you're not still in the editing like mindset and you can listen to it a little bit more objectively.
Yeah, I agree.
Um, Heather said, I'm writing a sci-fi fantasy novel. Very cool. That's awesome. Those are two genres that I've never written before. Heather said, with the premise of what if Earth shared an orbit with another planet? So a little alternate reality, a little sci-fi, a little fantasy. Oh, very cool.
I love that.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. I
Yeah.
hope your drafts are going well. That sounds like it would be very fun to write. Um, do we want to maybe jump into our next sprint?
Sure.
Okay, cool. I'm like dying to get back into the scene. Do we want to do 25 minutes again, or do we want to go longer? Or
25 works for me.
all right, perfect, awesome. So I will start the timer. Happy writing, everybody. Happy productivity, and we will see you after the sprint. All right. How was that sprint?
Better. I did have to stop because I wanted to like plot out my ending a tiny bit more. Just kind of going through and writing out what scenes still need to happen and kind of figuring out the order of things. So that took because I got to the part in the scene where I'm like, I know what's gonna happen, but I need to know like because this is kind of close to the climax. So I need to know how the two characters are gonna like split up and then come back together. So but I think I figured it out. So
Oh, exciting.
yeah.
Yeah, no, I had dinner during that sprint.
Ooh.
It was exciting. So I have a little bit more energy now, which is good. I just like was running around like a crazy person all afternoon doing stuff. So I was like at the last minute just running to get to the sprint, so I didn't have time to eat dinner before. But happy that I did. And wrote a couple more words. I am getting really close to the ending of this chapter, which I'm very excited about. And then I will get to the chapter after this is going to be a very different vibe and a very fun, kind of exciting character, like fun, witty banter scene, not like quite as heavy. So I'm excited to dive into that.
I can't remember. Did you say what word count you're at right now?
I didn't, but I can count now. I'm just around 26,000.
Oh, nice.
So I'm excited about it. I'm like a huge overwriter though. Like I think that this draft will probably be in the 150 range, and then I'm gonna have to trim it down because there's just like there are 50 chapters in my outline right now, and that is way more than there have been in any of my previous books. So like both the first book of my series and the second book of my series have around like 38 to 39. I think 39 in the first one and 38 in the second one. So 50 is like a big overshot of that. So I have a feeling I'm gonna have to pull it back in order to like keep the fast-paced stuff. And I'm pretty sure that the reason it's 50 chapters is because of all the character stuff that I was talking about before. That's why it's longer. So yeah, I'm like 25,000 words in, but I'm only on chapter 9. So that's that's why we're in for a long one. Everybody who's joining us for the sprints, how was that sprint for you? Let us know in the comments. Did you edit a chapter? How many words did you get done? Are you happy with what you did? What did you work on? I would love to hear about it. We had a new friend join us, Amanda. Hi, Amanda. Thanks so much for stopping by. What are you going to be working on during these sprints? What is your current work in progress? Let us know. Yeah. Sarah, I've always wondered, because you were just talking about how like the characters kind of split up before the climax and then come back together. Is like in a romance story, because I know that it, like that typically, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I have heard that like that typically happens in romances. Like when you have a relationship, you usually have like the kind of conflict that like splits them up, and then you have the reconciliation kind of towards the end. Is the actual climax of the book the big split up, or is it the reconciliation of the characters?
I think for me, I view it as I don't know. I've never really thought of it. Like I guess in this instance, I was thinking that the splitting up was more of the climax, but then you would need because in like the Save the Cat beat sheet, you have the climax and then the conclusion is like right after that, right?
I think so.
Yeah. So I don't think there's going to be like a lot of I don't know, maybe like 5,000 words, 10,000 words between the split up and the getting back together. So I wouldn't say it's necessarily like in that kind of beat sheet order because it's kind of I don't know. I don't know. I think people would probably say getting back together is the climax.
Okay.
I think it's what other people would say, but for me, I feel like the breaking up part is the climax because it's like you're kind of building up toward that. Like things are going well and then suddenly something's not going well. So I feel like that is a very climactic moment. So that's what I don't know.
I think that there are like I read a book recently that broke the climax down into a bunch of different points or a bunch of different beats, like how you have like the all hope is lost beat in the climax where like you think
Oh
like,
yeah.
you know how like they're about to defeat the villain, but like they seem like they can't, or something goes horribly wrong and then they can't, and then they're able to pull it off. But like I feel like if you have like 5 to 10,000 words between the breakup and then the makeup, that whole section isn't the climax. Because like
Right.
I mean, I don't know. This is just interesting to me from like a plotting perspective, because I always think of, because I write thrillers, it's always like everything happens one after the other. In the climax, it's like just a big chunk of chapters that are all like in the same moment when they're trying to defeat the evil guy.
Yeah.
But it's interesting, like breaking it or putting a climax on like a character relationship too.
Right. And I just, when you said that, it jogged my memory. In Save the Cat, they have the all is lost kind of beat. And
Mm-hmm.
I think that's more of like the climax to me.
Yeah.
That's in my head, that's what I've always assumed as the climax. And then you have the Dark Night of the Soul and then the break into
Oh
three.
yeah, the Dark Night of the Soul. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah. So I would say the splitting apart, it falls into that all is lost, and then you come back in the third act. That's what I would say.
Okay. Yeah, no, that makes sense.
When you said that, it jogged my memory, and I had it right here. So
Yeah, I still don't have a copy of Save the Cat. I think I did a while ago, but I don't know where it went. I never got Save the Cat writes a novel. I read the screenplay one, but I've heard great things about Save the Cat. Save the Cat writes a novel.
I think I heard that they're coming out with a young adult version.
Wait, really?
Yeah, so I'm like,
Oh. I'm gonna need that one.
Yeah, seriously.
Heather said, I wrote 355 words and got some tea and snacks. Very nice. Yeah, I always feel like self-conscious eating on camera when I'm making sprints. So I turned off my camera while I was eating, but I was like, having mouthfuls of like cauliflower, I just don't want, because I know that these are being recorded and people can watch the playback, so I just don't want that to be out on the internet. But snacks are awesome. Haley said, I read one chapter, but did get a little distracted watching Harry Potter. Oh, I don't blame you. Harry Potter is the best. I really want to do a Harry Potter marathon soon. I haven't done one since like right at the beginning of quarantine, so it's been a little while. I did the full Harry Potter marathon, full Hunger Games marathon, full Divergent marathon. Like I was really
I love that.
Those comfort movies. Amanda said, my current WIP is a slow burn with a love subplot fantasy. The working title is Cursed Aftermath, and it deals with the MC returning to a city where he hurt people while cursed 5 years prior. Ooh. That sounds very cool.
Yeah, it does.
I like that title too.
Mm.
That's a cool working title.
Yeah. And it sounds like it fits really well.
Yeah, definitely. I love writing love subplots too. That's like having kind of an adventure story, but like I can't help myself. Like I always have to put in the love subplot because
I love subplot, main
love.
plot. It's all great.
Jasmine said, I would love a YA version of Save the Cat. Yes, I hadn't heard that they were going to do that, but I'm going to start keeping my eye for it.
I'm going to look. I could have sworn I saw it like months ago that she said that she's going to release it in the summer. But now that I'm thinking of it, I haven't heard anything. So I'm going to look.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wait. It says, due to COVID delays outside of my control, the release date has been pushed back to May 2nd of 2023.
No, what?
What the heck?
Oh, that's so annoying.
How would that delay?
Maybe, because Save the Cat is TradPub, right?
I think so. So maybe they just have other books they want to publish?
Well, I think that they also have like lots of supply chain issues.
Oh, that's
because of COVID. Because I've heard that like a lot of print runs are like getting delayed or coming from an indie author, don't know that much about it, but I've heard that that's like been a big issue. I mean, like Ingram Spark also had a lot of issues with the COVID supply chain.
Yeah.
I remember that they had like all sorts of different printing and shipping time issues.
They always have issues of some sort.
I wonder if they're just I don't even wanna talk about it. Ingram Spark drives me absolutely crazy.
Every
Um,
indie author has the same stance, and if you don't, it's just because it hasn't happened to you yet.
yeah, I know. I was like when I first started indie publishing, I was like, "Oh, Ingram Spark isn't that bad." And then it happened to me, and then I got so mad, and it
Yeah,
really, like, messed up my yeah. It
same.
yeah, it was so annoying. I had it, um, they, like, for whatever reason, they never told me why they put my book on, like, instead of having, like, when I submitted it on time, like, I gave it, I think, 3 weeks before release day. I submitted all of the files I needed, and then they, like, flagged it for manual processing for no reason whatsoever, and then they said, like, "It'll take anywhere between, like, 15 to 30 business days for us to, like, get around to looking." I was like, "Are you kidding me? Like, I have 3 weeks until this book comes out. Like, why did it get flagged for manual processing?" And they're like, I'm sorry for the inconvenience. I don't know. It was, like, random." So annoying.
Yeah, oh my gosh.
Anyway.
They're something.
Mhm. Oh, yeah. Such kind, helpful customer service. Um, Amanda said, working tagline, no one ever talks about what happens after a curse is broken. Basically, a fair bit of trying to find redemption and hoping for a second chance, even if you don't think you deserve it. Oh, I
I
like
like
that.
that.
I don't know if you've read the Infernal Devices series by Cassandra Clare, but this is like giving me some thoughts of a certain character in that series that will remain unnamed.
I had an entire Tumblr blog dedicated to that series. It had, like, 20,000 followers. I
Oh
was
my god.
dedicated.
I am so in love with that series. I used to have, like, T-shirts that said, like, "I love Jem Carstairs, get over it." Like, I would wear them every day.
So good.
It was
So
such
good.
oh my god, okay. I was like, I was just thinking about those books today. I need to reread them.
I
I still go
know.
back and, like, look at paragraphs and stuff, like, like, I'll just be going about my day, and all of a sudden I'll be like, "Oh my gosh, do you remember, like, when Will told Tessa this?" And I have to, like, go and, like, look it up online and go read the thing. Okay, I'm
Yes.
getting way off track. Do you wanna do another writing sprint?
Sure.
Cool. Do we wanna do another 25-minute?
Yeah, sure.
Alright, awesome. Um, cool, so I will reset the timer. Good luck, everybody. Happy writing, happy productivity, and we will see you after the sprint. Alrighty. Cool. So how was that sprint for you?
Good. Now it was my turn to go have dinner.
Oh,
So
nice.
I did eat dinner and then I got a little bit more added. I'm not really keeping track of my word count. I just realized, but
Neither am I. Yeah.
yeah.
I'm keeping track, I think, of like my total word count for the entirety of our sprint because I like using, I don't know if you also use Scrivener, but I love using the project tracker feature in Scrivener where like you can set a word count goal for the session and then it'll like have like a little progress bar that will get like bigger over the course of your writing session. So like, and it'll like turn green when you achieve the goal. So
Oh,
I
that's
set
so
like a
cool.
word count goal and I can like see the bar moving along. So it's
Oh,
very satisfying.
yeah, I love that.
Yeah, I'm at around actually just over 1,000 words for tonight, which isn't like, crazy word count or anything, but I've just, been moving along.
Yeah, that's so great.
Yeah. I did this sprint was good. I just finished that chapter like right at the end that I had been working on. So this next sprint, I think I'm gonna pivot into doing the more fun upbeat scene. So happy about that.
Yay.
Yeah. What did you have for dinner?
I had a chicken bacon lettuce wrap.
Oh, nice.
It was really good.
Sounds really good. How is that sprint for all of you who are writing with us? Let us know in the comments. Um, Jasmine said, I'm listening to the same song on repeat because it's perfect for my current scene. Very cool. I love it when you find songs like that that just really capture the vibe. I've been listening to a lot of Panic at the Disco writing this series. There are a couple songs that I was just like, I don't know, they really get you right in the headspace for the scene. I
Yeah.
totally know how that feels.
I always listen to, like, if I find a song that I love, it'll be on repeat for days. I'm definitely one
Yeah,
of
and then
those
I'll get
people.
sick of it, and then I never want to listen to it again. And then it'll still be on like my Spotify top 100 for the year.
Yeah, because you listened to it so many times.
Oh man. Yeah, I'm thinking that maybe we want this next sprint to, like, I don't know how you're feeling. Do we want to maybe have this one be our last sprint? Because I am getting a little bit tired because I wrote a lot this morning. And I don't know if I'll have enough energy to really go on after this sprint and keep
Yeah, yeah,
writing.
that sounds great. I was actually
Okay.
thinking, like, I feel like I'm winding down too for the night, so
Okay, perfect. Yeah, so we'll do this next one will be our last one. Um,
sounds good.
for those of you who are still here, do you have a specific time that you want us to do our last sprint? Like, do you like shorter sprints? Do you like longer sprints? I mean, maybe we'll cap it at 25, but like if you have any preferences, let us know in the comments and we can do that. Because yeah, if you want to participate, if you have a favorite time, I know we've had people in the past will like come up with like funny numbers and things to make the times. And
Yeah.
if anybody has any favorite numbers between 1 and 25, we could do a 1 minute sprint.
Could you imagine
I've never
doing
done one of
4
those
words?
before.
I love it.
Heather said 4:22 that time. I almost hit my goal for the day. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Congratulations. That's so exciting. Um, oh, Jasmine said 25 is good. All right. So do we want to do our, just like jump into it and do our last sprint?
Sure.
Awesome. All right. So we are going to do one final 25-minute sprint. I will share the timer again. Happy writing, everybody. Smash those word count goals for the day because this will be our last one. Happy productivity, and we will see you after our last sprint. Alrighty. We're done. Very exciting. Sarah, how was that sprint?
It was good. It felt like it went by really fast.
Yeah.
I got closer to the climax, so we're getting really close
good.
now. Yeah.
That's very exciting. Yeah, I kind of hit a wall. I'm like a little bit tired and was getting super distracted during that sprint. But I did start the next chapter, which is good. And I am super ready to go to bed. But I kept checking Instagram and like just, and you know, once I start only being able to write like 2 sentences and then have it like finding myself going away from it, I know I have to call it. It's just,
Yeah. Because then it's not as like, it's not fun. It's not as good. Yeah.
Exactly. It's just like it feels so stilted. Like even when I read stuff back that I wrote when I was kind of in that mindset, like it doesn't really feel like you're in the scene. It just feels like it's, I don't know, like it's choppy and not it. It's not the vibe.
I feel you.
Yeah. Well, I think that we are done with this stream. I hope that all of you who were able to stick around and write with us, that you were able to meet your word goals and your writing goals for the evening. I hope you all have wonderful weekends. And I'm going to be doing sprints on this channel on Saturday morning this weekend. So if you want to come and do some more writing sprints, I will be going live, I think, at 10 a.m. Eastern time on Saturday. So you should all come by if you want to. Sarah, do you want to tell everybody where they can find you online?
Sure. So I'm here on YouTube, which is author Sarah Sutton. And then I'm over on Instagram at Sarah May Sutton. And next week is our cover reveal. So go follow me over there so you guys get to see that.
I'm so excited. I can't wait to see the cover. It's like I've seen like kind of like some sneak peeks and like pictures like of the spine and things that you've been sharing. Very exciting.
I'm so pumped.
All right. Thank you all so much for coming. Have a fantastic weekend, and I'll see you very soon. Bye, everybody.